Acknowledge and celebrate Delaware State University's return to the city of Wilmington. And open the doors to the new Capital One building at Delaware State University Riverfront. Let's also acknowledge on a gray and rainy day like this, with so much sad news in the world, that this might just be kind of the bright spot that we all need this morning. And so, Capital One is really proud of the deep roots that we have here in Wilmington. And I'm personally very honored to share the stage and be here with so many leaders across the state and the city. Many of them are here on the podium with me today, but I'd also like to acknowledge a few other folks and excuse my list of folks. First, Tony Allen. Thank you, Tony Allen. There just could not be a better partner in work like this. Thank you for your visionary leadership. Thank you for opening the doors for the Capital One team to really meaningfully expand our relationship with the university and with its students. We're blessed. I'd also like to thank the entire event planning committee, that's from Delaware State and from Capital One, organizing and planning an event outdoors in February is not easy. We got 30-mile-an-hour winds coming. They did an incredible job getting us to this point. The students who took their time out of their busy days to come up from Dover to be here with us, some on the stage with us now, thank you. At the end of the day, yes, thank you. We're not going to be able to clap after every single name I name, I promise you. But this one definitely deserves it. You're the future. You're the reason we're here at the end of the day, so thank you. Capital One executives, I'm not going to name them all. Thank you for coming up from Richmond, from McLean, from up the road in Delaware to be with us. And I also want to acknowledge a pretty long list of dignitaries here with us today, so bear with me. Acting Assistant Secretary from the Office of Post-Secondary Education, Dr. Michelle Asha Cooper. State Auditor Kathy McGinnis. The one and only Delaware Senator Tizzy Lockman, thank you. State Senator Ernie Lopez. Delaware Representative Mimi Minor Brown. Delaware Rep. Dr. Stephanie Bolden. Delaware Rep. Kendra Johnson. Delaware Rep. Franklin Cook. Delaware Rep. Paul Bombach. I think we have the entire City of Wilmington Council delegation here. And I'm also going to list off a set of leaders we have here from our great Capital One nonprofit partners. So we've got the Teen Warehouse here. I saw Logan, I saw Charlie, I saw Dave. Tech Impact, Coded by Kids, Reed's Refuge, the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware, FAME, HBCU Week Foundation, and the University of Delaware. Thank you all for being here. And the fact that you're all here speaks volumes about the impact of this iconic institution and what Delaware State's return means for this community. As we open the doors to the new building, we're also celebrating another exciting milestone, and that is the expanded recruiting relationship between Capital One and Delaware State students. I'm thrilled to share today that we're launching an executive mentorship program between Capital One executives and Del State sophomores. And we're also providing $270,000 in grants for the university's experiential learning program. This builds on the work Capital One's done since August to really cement our recruiting relationship. We've designated a recruiter for Del State, matching students with career opportunities at Capital One. We've extended skills training programs like our Software Engineering Summit and the First Gen Focus program, focused on those students who are the first in their family to go to college. Today is a proud day for Capital One. It's a proud day for me personally. I began my career on the 5th floor here in this building a lot of years ago. And I know that in its next chapter, this building will continue to grow the next generation of business leaders, of community leaders. And I just could not be more proud to stand here amongst the future occupants of this building and the visionary leaders who brought us to this point. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic to the chair of, and here comes the sun. It's about to be 150 degrees in here. The chair of President Biden's Board of Advisors on HBCUs, the president of Delaware State University, and my good friend, Dr. Tony Allen. Thank you.
Welcome to Delaware State University Riverfront. Now, I got to tell you, I'm a little tired. Tara and I had a date with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ralph, and Johnny last night at the New Edition concert. I was incognito. I had a hat on, a hoodie, but I danced the night away, along with Terrence Bowman, who was also there, and I bet a couple people in this room. Thank you, Joe. And thank you to the outstanding people of Capital One. Give them another round of applause. State University. God bless you. Pleasure to introduce my dear friend, Governor John Carney.
I learned a long time ago when I was chair of the Interagency Council for Adult Literacy, never speak after students. And I think that's appropriate. Today we have a long list of speakers. But I want to just first congratulate Capital One and Delaware State University for this incredible partnership, what you're doing here today. It's a great thing for Capital One and the pipeline that you're going to create for new employees. It's a great thing for those employees who are going to work for a great company. And it's an amazingly great thing for Delaware State University and its students and graduates. This is Black History Month. This week we had a forum on the history of education for people of color in our state. And it's a history that goes back to the early part of the 19th century. Most of those limited educational opportunities were provided by faith denominations, including the Quakers and this meeting just on the hill not far from where we are. And what struck me most was not so much what these schools did not have, but what they provided for the limited number of students that attended. Two of the panelists were Dr. Reba Hollingsworth, who's just a Delaware diamond if there ever was, at 95 years old, and certainly more coherent than I am at 65 years old. Dr. Hollingsworth shared with us the struggles that she had as a student growing up and attending a segregated school in Milford, and then not having a high school option except for the option provided at Delaware State University. And she talked about that experience and how she went to Dover and lived there, frankly, through that whole time. But she also talked about the inspiration she got to pursue her education from her parents, from her teachers who were paid considerably less than teachers in the white schools at the time, and the resources that she did get, secondhand books and all the rest of it, from this system. And what struck me about her conversation and her presentation and about what we're doing today is that inspiration is a big part of educational success for our children. And that this, Joe and Dr. Allen, represents inspiration. I've been spending a lot of time knocking on doors in neighborhoods not too far from here, working with members of General Assembly, including my church member, terrific Bolden. And I've heard a lot of feedback about what we need to do to improve education for the children here in the city. And this represents a big part of it. For them, it'll be something they can look at and say, I can do that. And I can go work for Capital One after doing that. And it just opens up a world of possibilities. And so as governor, and this being one of my top priorities, if not the top priorities, because it is all about a future for these children and for our neighborhoods, for our city and our state. This is not just a great thing for the city, Dr. Allen, as you know. This is a great thing for the whole state of Delaware. And I want to thank all the people who've made it possible. God bless you. Let's continue to work together.
Go ahead. Please welcome Senator Tom Carper.
I didn't know. Say what? Who was that? You're much more handsome. I never knew Winston Churchill, but I like to quote him a lot. Winston Churchill once said, the further back we look, the further forward we see. I want to invite you to look back with me. I'd been a naval flight officer in the Vietnam War, finished up at the end of the war, and moved to Delaware to get an MBA at the University of Delaware. And coming right out of graduate school, I went to work in what would become the Delaware Economic Development Office. We were located, as Tony knows, we were located right on the campus of Delaware State College. It was a car campus. It was underfunded, underappreciated. It was a stepchild. And having spent 2 years at the University of Delaware, where they had everything, to be at Delaware State College, which had so little, I remember thinking, somebody ought to do something about this. And as luck would have it, a few years later, I got to run for office and became the treasurer here and the congressman, and then eventually the governor. My first year as governor was 1993. We were in a recession. It was a tough time. And a guy who had been president of the University of Delaware and a guy who'd been governor of this state, Russell Peterson, ended up on my schedule in my first 6 months as governor. And they wanted to come and talk to me about the riverfront. The riverfront. I was up to my eyeballs in alligators. The last thing I wanted to talk about or hear about was the riverfront. But we talked about the riverfront, and they showed me these great drawings, huge, like, I don't know, 4x8, the architect renderings of what a riverfront could look like, this riverfront could look like. I was blown away. I was blown away. I remember saying to Governor Peterson, I said, this is amazing. This is amazing. Who is going to do this? Who is going to make this happen? And he said, you are. I said, why me? He said, you're the governor, and this is what governors do. And you know what? With the help of the legislature, Mike Perzicki, and a lot of other people, Chris Coons, we made this happen. I also remember another story back from 1993. Delaware State College got themselves a new president, Bill Delauder. He'd come up from, I think, North Carolina, maybe Winston-Salem, but he came up from North Carolina. He was a great guy, great leader. Wasn't he, Tony? Great leader. And the new president, Bill Delauder, came to see me and leaned over to the governor's office, and he said, I got an idea. And I said, I hope it's not the riverfront. He said, no. He said, why don't we transform, you and me, with the help of the legislature, why don't we transform Delaware State College into Delaware State University? And I said, you had me from hello. And we went to work, Herman Holloway, State Senator Herman Holloway, offered the legislation. I think it may have passed unanimously, and was signed into law. Today, we're sort of at an intersection of those two historical moments. The transformation of Delaware State College into Delaware State University, the transformation of an industrial wasteland where nothing happened. Nothing happened here. And turn it into a place of great hope, a great hope. I just want to say to the folks that have helped bring us to this day, to our friends from Capital One, to our leaders from
Delaware State led by Tony, and everyone else here in this room, in this tent, in this hot box. What? You know, this is global warming. This is what we tell you about. This is global warming. For everybody who's had a hand in this, just a big thank you. I'll close with this thought. I've spoken at graduations at Delaware State probably 30 times. I love commencements at Delaware State. And I always finish up, as Tony knows, I always finish up my remarks with 2 words. And those words are Hornets rising. Let me hear you say, Hornets rising. Let me hear you say, one more time, let me hear you say, Hornets rising. Hornets are rising. God bless you. Thank you.
Please welcome Senator Chris Coons.
Good morning, Delaware. Good morning, Delaware. Indeed, Senator Carper, hornets are rising. And it's often been said that failure is an orphan, but success has many, many parents. And if we were to list the many parents of this particular moment of success, you, of course, should be first among them. Ladies and gentlemen, give an amazing, forceful round of applause to this man who, as governor, laid the foundation for this moment. Without you, this would not be possible. Today is an important day. We love each other here in Delaware. The Undersecretary of Education just turned to me and he said, I get the sense you all know each other. I said, you have no idea. To my former next-door neighbor, longtime friend, former employer of my wife, and former secretary in his cabinet, our Governor John Carney, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, your investment, your vision. You have sustained us through the most difficult months and now years of this pandemic. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, Governor Carney. To my friend and successor in office, Matt Meyer, the county executive, thank you. Thank you for what you've done and your leadership. And to our mayor and the hero of a nation I just visited, Poland, Mayor Perzicki, thank you for leading our city so well. Folks, I have just returned from a week-long trip to Germany, to Poland, and to Lithuania. And I will tell you, it is a cold and difficult day for the men and women of Eastern Europe. They are so grateful for the strength of our commitment to our partnership through NATO and for the forceful and clear-eyed leadership of our president. And nothing could make me happier, nothing could make my return to our state warmer than this gathering here today. It is a reminder of how in Delaware we come together to address historic inequities, to invest and partner in each other, and to open the doors of possibilities and opportunity for the future. It is a blessing and an honor to be with Dr. Devonna Williams, Chair of the Board of Del State, and with Tony, the President of Del State. Thank you for what you are doing. To hear from Kyle Shepard, soon to be Dr. Kyle Shepard, and to hear from Anya Patterson, a freshman and soon to be campus leader on Del State. Thank you for your message of encouragement, your reminder that we need role models of success and of change. Just a few days ago, I had the honor of joining President Biden at the National Prayer Breakfast, where he gave remarks. And backstage with our Vice President, who was also just with me in Munich, speaking clearly and forcefully at this critical moment in world history. As he began the National Prayer Breakfast, President Biden said, if you were to define America with one word, it would be opportunity. This is a moment of opportunity. This is a moment where the blessing of opportunity is made possible for the next generation of Wilmingtonians and Delawareans. And let me thank you, Joe Westcott, for this incredible gift, for this incredible moment of opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's convey our gratitude to Cap One and Joe Westcott for this remarkable investment, this great gift. Joe, I hope you will tell Mr. Fairbank how much we appreciate the investment that Cap One is making, the investment of a new generation of opportunities that will unfold here at this gorgeous building behind us. You had the opportunity to work here. I've had the opportunity to visit here. And now, because of your generosity, literally thousands of Delawareans will have the chance to be educated here and to begin the next chapter of their lives. This isn't Joe's first turn at taking an asset and turning it into a promising future. Joe helped drive the discussion about the donation of Teen Warehouse that had formerly been Prestige Academy. Cap One held the mortgage on that building, but instead of turning it into an asset, they turned it into a promising chance for the people of Northeast Wilmington, and the Teen Warehouse had a fresh start as a result. So you can give him another round of applause for that. As the co-chair of the HBCU caucus in the Senate, let me tell you, I could not be prouder of this moment of opportunity. I've partnered with Tim Scott, a senator from South Carolina, to introduce legislation, the IGNITE Act, that shows the promise, the possibility of remarkable landmark federal investment in HBCUs across our country. My engagement in that was inspired by former Governor Carper's example, which was to recognize that by investing in HBCUs, we can turn a corner as a nation. We can recognize the historic disinvestment in African-American opportunity and education, and we can unlock the future to which a generation of Americans will march with determination and show how their capabilities, their skills, and their contributions will transform our country. Just a few moments ago, President Biden announced that he is nominating Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the United States Supreme Court. And as a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I look forward to participating in what I am optimistic will be a swift and bipartisan confirmation. But as folks go through her judicial record, her decisional record, her educational record, one small thing I wanted to mention just in this moment. Both of her parents were the first in their families to go to college. Both of her parents graduated from HBCUs. And both of her parents made possible this incredible historic moment for our nation. So let me just close by saying this. Scripture teaches us that of those to whom much has been given is much expected. Capital One has earned a great deal of profit, and has created a great deal of opportunity here for the citizens of Delaware. This $4.7 million donation, this gift, this moment of opportunity, was made possible because the Hornets, under the leadership of their president, have steadily risen. As one has risen, the other has risen. And in combination, just as the president reminded us about those moments of crossing this river to freedom generations ago, this partnership, this mutual investment, this moment of opening a door to freedom and opportunity will inspire all of us for the rest of our lives. Thank you, and thank you for what you're doing here together.
Please welcome Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester.
So I'm not sure if you all heard the voice of God mic, but I'm Delaware Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. And I came dressed for the occasion. I'm just saying, just saying. First, I will kind of say all of my prepared remarks, but I want to take a second to highlight Anaya and Kyle. I'm filled up in this moment. First, because we talk a lot about the future and leaders of the future, but what they show us is that they are leaders of today. They are leaders of today. And Kyle, I was blessed to work with Kyle in my office, in the congressional office, and he came prepared. He came equipped. He came with passion. He came with conviction. And he came with intellect. And that's what Delaware State University produces. A great man for a time such as this. And so, Dr. Allen, my good friend, and I do have to say, Tara, the love of his life, actually had on a shirt for the New Edition concert that had Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, all of them, and at the end it said, and Tony. So if it isn't love, you know, so there is some love there. But Dr. Allen, this is an incredible day. To the Board of Trustees, the faculty, the staff, the alumni, the students of Delaware State University. To Joe Westcott, oh man, the Capital One team right here, this is an all-star team. This is an all-star team. Give it up for the Capital One team. Welcome to the Undersecretary. You can see it is a family affair. I am thrilled to be here to celebrate the return of Delaware State University to our city, right, Mr. Mayor? Wilmington, Delaware. And I have to say, it is no surprise that Capital One would be leading the charge. I mean, they revolutionized the industry with data and technology and took things to a new level. So it is no surprise that Delaware State and Capital One are rising together. But I'm calling this, I heard the word a lot, impact. And in our team, I got Jason here and Victoria here. We know our word for the 117th Congress is impact. Kyle knows it too. You were the impact. How can we have the greatest impact on the greatest number of people? And to me, this is impact partnerships. That's what this is about, right, Jocelyn? Impact partnerships. And so, and I even see, I got AFSCME in the room. We can't forget labor. Labor's in the house too. But it's about impact partnerships. And so when I think of this historic day, the 130 years of Delaware State University, I think about, I heard an amen, amen, that's right, Devonna. I think about the expansion of a footprint, the expansion of a vision, and the expansion of impact. How about the fact that this university has expanded in our state? The acquisition of Wesley College. Right, Patty? Incredible. This week we were at the Schwartz Theater where Governor Carper was talking about the unveiling and the newness of the partnership with the Schwartz Theater that Delaware State University will be bringing the arts to Dover, the middle of our state. And I know there's some exciting plans for Sussex County. I will not break any stories today. However, the expansion. Secondly, the vision. With that expansion comes a greater vision, a greater vision. And what's important to recognize, I know it was briefly noted that Tony is President Biden's chair of the Board of Advisors on Historically Black Colleges and Universities. But that means that this vision is not just about Wilmington or Delaware, but it's about the nation. This is a model for the nation. And so that's even the horns are going off. It's a model for the nation. So, as we move forward, people who know me, because Senator Carper, you remember our old days, I was his Secretary of Labor. Secretary of Labor, or Secretary of Love. I knew that was coming, Secretary of Love. And also State Personnel Director, and then also CEO, following Tony's footsteps of the Urban League. For us, it is about impact, making a change in people's lives. That's why I founded the Bipartisan Future Work Caucus, and that's why my focus has always been on jobs. This is about jobs. This is about strengthening our economy. This is about making us competitive around the world. This is about building wealth and generational wealth and creating businesses. So don't get it twisted. This ain't just a building. This is our today, upskilling, reskilling, workforce development, and it's our tomorrow. This is about not just hornets rising, not just Delaware rising, but the United States of America are rising. Thank you so much, and let's go get them. Let's cut a ribbon. Excuse me if I have to leave. The Congressional Black Caucus has an emergency meeting about the new Supreme Court justice to be the first black woman in the United States. So I'll be back and forth. All right, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Please welcome Undersecretary of Education, James Quarles.
Thank you so much. It's a real honor to be here today on behalf of U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona. And it's true, Senator, I can really feel the sense of community here, the sense of shared purpose, the inside jokes I don't quite understand. But it's incredible to see how closely you all work together and how much you can accomplish together. And this is really a great day for the university, for the city of Wilmington, and for the future of Delaware and the Delaware economy. Dr. Tony Allen is someone whose advice President Biden seeks out, listens to, relies upon. And so it was really no surprise when Dr. Allen was named to chair the President's Advisory Commission on Historically Black Colleges and Universities. So thank you, Dr. Allen, for your leadership here and across the country. And as we celebrate the new impressive home for the School of Graduate Adult and Continuing Studies, we're not just celebrating this building, we're celebrating all of the economic opportunity that this school is going to unleash in the years to come. That means degrees earned by workers so that they can build their careers and help their families get ahead. It means jobs found by Wilmington residents at the new Workforce Center. It means careers launched in partnership with Delaware State's alumni, and thanks for the recruitment partnership with Capital One. The facility is a great example of how colleges and universities can open doors, change lives, and drive economic growth for entire communities. So on behalf of the U.S. Department of Education, Secretary Cardona, and the Biden-Harris administration, I want to congratulate you on this milestone. We in the Biden administration respect the proud legacy and the limitless potential of Delaware State and all of our HBCUs. In the face of social and racial injustice and chronic underinvestment, HBCUs have continually defied the odds and unlocked doors of opportunity. As President Biden has said, it's no accident that HBCUs have helped produce half of black lawyers, 2/3 of black doctors, and 80% of black judges. Let's not forget our nation's first black vice president is an HBCU alum. And as the senator mentioned, our new Supreme Court nominee is the daughter of 2 HBCU alums. So HBCUs are essential. They're essential now, and they're essential in the future. And investing in them is really a no-brainer. Delaware is fortunate to have elected officials who believe in the value of HBCUs, from City Hall to the halls of Congress to the governor. And I know the congressional delegation fought for the American Rescue Plan, which has invested $4 billion in HBCUs. And the governor got those funds in the hands of universities and schools as quickly as possible. So with these historic investments, I believe we're at a transformational moment in higher education, one that brings us closer than ever before to fulfilling that promise of this nation that every child, that everybody with dreams and determination can make the lives that they choose. And that, after all, is what our country is all about. So thank you very much, and congratulations to Delaware State and everybody here in Wilmington.
Please welcome Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings.
Good morning, everyone. This is a morning of pure joy. And I've got to tell you, as Attorney General, not everything I do brings pure joy, but thank you so much for including me at this very, very special time. We are so blessed in our small but mighty state of Delaware to have some of the nation's finest learning centers, colleges and universities, including one of America's premier HBCUs, Delaware State University. The growth that DSU has undergone in the past 10 years alone, not just in terms of its campus and facilities, but in the strength of its programming, the opportunities it is providing to students, and the investments it's making in our state is nothing short of remarkable. We are able to celebrate that growth as DSU expands its footprint into our city, the city of Wilmington. We are here to recognize Capital One's generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is Capital One's generosity that has made this possible and that speaks volumes to Capital One's dedication to the state of Delaware, to the city of Wilmington, to our state of neighbors, Governor Carney. We are here to not only celebrate the growth as DSU expands into our city, but we are also here to celebrate, as has been said, the future for our most precious asset, the asset that is our children, and in my case, our grandchildren. And so I say today, let's celebrate with great joy. Let's honor the great work of people who are making this happen in the building behind us, this historic building, and let's consider ourselves as we are so very blessed. Thank you.
We are honored to have Wilmington's 57th Mayor, Mike Perzicki, close our remarks this afternoon.
Why does 57th Mayor make me feel old? On behalf of the people of the city, I am so pleased to welcome all of you. I'd like the personal privilege here to ask my members of council, President Council's here, our members of council, please raise your hand anyway to be recognized, because I will tell you honestly, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished in our city, and it's not just the mayor who does this. These members of council have been great to work with, and I see so much progress ahead. Joe Westcott, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Where are you? What a guy. Yeah. No, really, these guys are great. They've got a soul, and it's not just writing the checks. There's something more. It's indescribable, but they have it, and boy, I'm so grateful for them. Tony, Dr. Williams, I can't tell you how proud I am of you. And there's a book. There's a book called The Alchemist by Paul Coelho. And in that, I don't know if you remember this line, I just love it. It says, if you really want something badly enough, the whole universe conspires to give it to you. That's you, man. You got it. I mean, the guy was made for this, you know. I mean, that's wonderful. Speaking of HBCUs, and this extraordinary HBCU, I don't think anybody in the country has done as much to advance the program of getting our young people into HBCUs as Wilmington, Delaware. We have thousands of kids admitted. We have tens of millions of dollars of scholarships given, a huge proportion of it by Del State and Big John out of his pocket. He writes a couple every year. You know, it just makes us so proud. It makes us so proud to be part of this. Hey, listen, you know, I may not look like I'm a Del State guy, but let me tell you, my brother's a football coach. I've seen more MEAC football games than anybody in this tent, I promise you. I got good DNA. My perspective standing here is nostalgic, because when we first got here on the Riverfront, that the senator talks about, governor then, this place was terrible. this place was awful, right? John, you remember? And this building was so bad, we didn't know what to do with it. We had no idea what we might do. So I said, here's what we're doing. We're fixing the brick, we're cleaning the brick. You know, we couldn't even sandblast it. We had to use peanuts because there was something about sand that they said you can't do it. So we cleaned the brick off. We put all new windows on it. We put a roof on it and a new door. And we just let it sit there. And one day, Arkady Kuhlman came to town from ING, and he said, I want that building. He said, that's going to be our pakhuis. Apparently in the Netherlands, a pakhuis is a warehouse. That's what they call them. And he said, that's perfect for us. And so we spent, God only knows how much money, we got ING into this building, and it started the economic pulse down here. The door next door, right next door where the Riverfront market is, was falling into the water. We had to cut a big bunch of that off, and then we built the restaurant. And so I'm nostalgic here. You know, cities need meds, beds, and eds. And we got meds and eds, but damn it, we finally got eds. Thank you so very much, Tony. God bless. Welcome.
All right, believe it or not, we are right on time. I hope everybody is as inspired as I am. If you haven't already, please take a tour of the building. Please grab some food. We actually have food sourced from Delaware State alumni and other local small black-owned restaurateurs inside. And with that, I think we're going to make it official and cut the ribbon. So if I could have all of our elected officials come up, all of our speakers come up, we'll cut this ribbon and make it official. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Before you all go, I just want to recognize the architect that actually renovated this building in the early 2000s, James Tiverball. Just give him a hand.
That's you, man. That's you.
Where are we doing it?
Where are we doing it?
Seated as our elected officials. Please remain seated as our elected officials join the stage for a photo.
Test. Tony.
Mondays and Wednesdays are best.
I want to give a countdown. I want to lead everybody in the countdown. Yeah. No, stop. No. We're going to do a Delaware State University countdown. You ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. All right, let me say 10, 9, 8,
7, 6,